meant to be. Fucking hell, Erickson. He wanted to just have a time of Corla and just retire, and I should have known from that point on. I should have known that he wasn't going to survive this. Who wants to read some more Malazan? This is a big book. This is the Broken Binding edition, and I think I might read it without the dust jacket because I'm sorry. Look at that. Look at that. But it's a huge fucking book. I mean, look, I'm excited to get back to it. I'm going in blind. I don't know. All I know, I think, is we're getting back to Whiskey Jack. So I'm excited, but I'm going to vlog my experience. It's going to be full of spoilers. What are my expectations? Basically ripping my heart out and stomping it. And apparently the ending's a lot. Oh, is that like a badger? Oh, it looks like a dinosaur. Fucking... And they're like dinosaur creatures in this book. If you just don't know, fucking loved. I've got the dinosaur autism. I love dinosaurs. Are you telling me? Okay, I'm even more excited now. It's going to be a big undertaking, I think, but I can't wait. And let's get back to Malazan. Let's get back into it. But I think my understanding is Whiskey Jack and that crew again, maybe. I'm curious where it's going to happen because from obviously Deadhouse Gate, we didn't really see them, but we heard about them. So I was like, what's going to happen? So... I don't know, I'm expecting it to be epic, I'm expecting it to be brutal, because it's Malazan, but I can't wait. So, I'm going to go dive in, and I will report back. So, you were telling me that the creature in the prologue in this book was the creature that Tok the Younger and such at the end of Guardians that they released. It's connecting! I don't know why I never thought it would. I mean, obviously it's going to, but I don't know why I was like, and I had to read the summary to get that. I ain't that smart. But I'm 100 pages in, which... doesn't look like a lot. This is kind of like, I understand why people are a little bit annoyed with the Broken Binding edition that I'm reading, because it's still, the pages are still quite thin, and this is the non-thin edition that I've got. But it doesn't bother me so much, but I can see why a lot of people, to be fair, it does a little bit, because I can see myself ripping this, and I don't want to, and I don't want to annotate this book, even though, like, I don't care for any of my other special editions. I just, for some reason, this one, like, no, I don't want to do it. So I'm writing in this, on my notes and quotes in Storygraph. Oh yeah, there's also the thing, like, the ancient wolf, which is Tog, which I didn't know. Again, I read the summary. Just because I know I miss a couple of things, like little things. Like, I knew what was happening, I just didn't know the wolf was called Tog. I don't know if you find that out later, but as it stands, I didn't know at that point. I liked him, and I'm kind of like, was he standing over Tok the Younger and, like, giving him a gift or something? Because he's like, an ancient memory rose before it hit its mind's eye, an image frozen, faded with the erosion of time, sufficient to close a spiral, and then it was done. I was like, I don't fucking know what happened there. I don't know. And then obviously Tog wakes up. But I do like Lady Envy. I think she's kind of cool. And tall. Like, you gotta love tall. I don't know why you wouldn't. Oh, there's something else I really like with Tok and Tall, which is this is like their attempt at dry humour is just making me giggle. I don't know what it is. This is an A, and and it has little interesting bones. I'm saying A is AY. A prefers flesh, still warm if possible. Tok grunted, I see. Humour, Tall said after a moment. Which I was just like, yeah. We also met the crippled god. And like, I know the last book is called The Crippled God. And I'm like, we're meeting him now? Okay. This is definitely interesting, and he's living in Bern's body, I think, which Bern is sleeping goddess, I think. He's like, but chained. He's still chained. He's sort of not where he was, but he was chained. But he's still chained, and it's kind of like he's using this like artist person, Wang, I don't know, to give him something, some cards and stuff, and then as a repayment he takes away his tumours but then removes the ability for him to fix legs. I was like, that is not a reward. And yet, because he serves his god, he's believing, yes, give me eternal suffering, that's all I need, all I want. And I was like, no you don't. Even the god was like, no you don't, but I want you to believe that because that leads to despair. And I'm like, who worships a god like that? He's just horrible. Oh, Quick Ben. I love being back with Quick Ben, Whiskey Jack, and all of them. Even Parent. Something's up with Parent. Oh my god. Like, what's going... Full of sorceries and, like, pain. And then when he tries to sleep and he's not really sleeping, he's thinking he's a wolf running and then drowning. And he's just pain. Something's up. And we don't know what yet. But Quick Ben took on the fucking crippled god just to get his pebble back. Just so a god didn't have access to all of his, like, power or looking into him or something like that. And I was like, yeah, Quick Ben, you do it. And then almost died. And I was like, you rolled the dice and you hit a nat 1, obviously, in your escape. But then the sleepless goddess, The servants helped him escape, but they're dying. So, and they are children. They sound like children. That's interesting. That is also kind of heart-wrenching at the same time. But there we go. I'm enjoying it. 100% in, and I, which is the prologue in 2 chapters. But I like getting back into this, and I'm gonna go back and read some more and find out what's happened. I want to know what happened with Paran. What is gonna happen to Paran? I don't know. Stay tuned. I'm sorry. What? So Caladan Brood has a hammer that could destroy anything, and he's choosing not to do it and save Burn, the sleeping goddess, because it will release the crippled god, which will then destroy everything. What? That is mad. But also, like, Caladan Brood defying her for that. I like his conversation with Amanda Rake after as well. Something went up there. Because there was a line, and I think Rake was like, I swear I just filled this glass full of wine. I'm like, something's happened. Why? Is he lost memories? Has somebody come in and taken his, just plucked something from him? Don't know. I'm a bit sus. But that chapter 5 is now done. That took me so long to get through chapter 5. That was almost 100 pages. Like, it ends on 244, and chapter 5 started on 176. It's a long chapter, but it's really interesting. So fascinating. So, Paran kidnapped. Just shoop. Obviously not his actual self, like the spiritual self, and goes to Riast, which so many good fucking dialogue lines. Like, can you awaken them? I have not tried. Why not? There has been no need. Love it. Low booty and ghostly good boys. Go back in a minute. We'll go outside in a minute, I promise. I don't want it. But then Rias says, I weep a river of tears for your plight, mortal. So many good lines. I'm not entirely sure who Rias is, because apparently Paran thinks Rias is like the Jagnot tyrant, but then he's in the House of Azrath. But then I'm kind of like, wasn't Akariamstad in that house? Unless that's a different house. I swear I have just read Dead House Gates, and now I'm like, maybe I didn't understand half the shit. Why not? We'll go outside in a minute, if you can please. No barking. No barking. Pretty please. Thank you. I swear, this is like a child. Shit. But yeah, that was an interesting chapter. Chapter 5. Scooby, don't stop barking. In a minute. We'll leave in a minute. But so much happened. The bit was Paran being the master of Dex, going in, seeing Burn, and then the crippled god chained to her. Interesting. And obviously, revelation about Caladan Brood. And everything about Paran's interesting me, because something's wrong with him. Obviously, he's now the master of deck. He's close to ascending. Wisty Jack is kind of like, I know what you are, but like, you're having a mental breakdown. So I'm not going to push you too hard. But Wisty Jack's like, you're gonna. But Paran, his reaction to Silver Fox as well is fascinating. Her being Tattersall, Nightblood, Nightchill, and someone else is potentially somebody else. I do feel for the Mahibi, I think that's how you say it, her mother, because literally the child is sucking her life force out from her. Literally, she's lost her youth in a matter of a month, and she is going to die, which is really quite sad. But that meeting, it was definitely an interesting chapter, and I'm definitely going to be coming back, because like a lot happened, especially with Quick Ben, like Wisty Jack just like, Quick Ben, I've known you for years. You're hiding something, or what are you doing? You sacrificed a goat. And Quick Ben was like, oh, it might have been a little bit of desperation there, but I found the Rivy Barrow of spirits in a sense, and they were cleaned out. And Wisty Jack's like, what? Cleaned out? And he's like, yep. Don't know why. Don't know who. I'm like, crippled god, maybe? I don't know. I could be completely fucking wrong, but here we are. So I'm now going to go let these dogs out so they can stop barking at me and let the chickens out. And then I'm going to go back to reading. I have finished book 1 in this book, which is that far through. Page 281 was like book 1, because if you didn't know, this is split into books. Chapter 6, stuff happened, but nothing that was like hooking me in, right? Because Gruntle, he's fine. There's Brooklyn and something Brooch, those people. The sorcerers, they stumbled across his carriage, and it's like the ox are fine, but there's a massive hole in the carriage, and then the people come over, and then it's like we've kind of set loose something, and its Buke is terrified, rightly so, because it's these fucking creatures on the spine, and they have blades for arms. Like, if you ever come across somebody whose literal arm is just a blade, run. That's just my opinion. Let's just run. These are cool. I would like to befriend them because they look like they would die for me and do what I want. But I am interested. It was fun. And then Gruntle may or may not be dead because the summary was like, going against darkness, like not actually saying he's dead. So I'm like, well, maybe he comes back, but he is very, very injured. He is injured. Bearing in mind, Buke was kind of like, we're gonna die. And he was like, eh. And then his sorcerer's, like, master, merchant person he's working for, who is actually kind of a sorcerer, was like, eh. And I'm like, you need to work with them because of these monster creatures, and you're going into a battle for why? What? I don't know. I'm kind of curious. It was fun. It was alright for a chapter. It was fine. It was literally just fine. There was nothing like, ooh, like the previous chapter. That I'll be like, oh, but obviously it's Malazan, so I'm kind of like, what significance? Why can't I talk today? What significance? Oh, I can see the word in my head, but my lips won't form it. Significant? No. Significance? No. Significant. There we go. Significant. Anyway, it's gonna mean something at some point, and I don't know what, but I'm interested. They are interesting people. Yeah, it's gonna mean something. Don't know when, don't know how. I'm gonna go into book 2. I'm loving the bush burners. I don't know what it is. I just love the bush burners. I love the world. The world is fascinating. The world sucking me in. So I'm gonna go back and find out what's happening with Perrin and all of them, and Lady Envy, and Tool, and Tok the Younger, and everything else that's going on, and things are overlapping a little bit, like, because I've read Dead House Gates, it's like, oh, okay, this tiny little things. So I went to bed last night, planning to read some more of this book, but my back was killing me, hypermobility. Nobody tells you that actually you're in a lot of pain a lot of the time. It's saying, oh, your joints just popped. No, my back suddenly went, boom, I can't hold you up anymore. So I couldn't sit and read. I had to lay on my stomach with my back support on and like cushion myself, and fell asleep doing puzzles because I was like, that's all I can fucking do. I wanted to continue reading, but I just couldn't because, yeah, fun times. But so I woke up this morning and I started to read, and I'm like, what the fuck? What the actual fuck have I just read? I'm not even through the chapter. Like, I stopped mid-chapter. I know some people in the year are like, you can't do that. Malazan will teach you, you will have to, because there is like some 100-page chapters and stuff, and also I don't give a shit. But what the fuck? So Lady Envy is having a little chat with Crawl, which Crawl is he the elder god that is chatting to Tok the Younger, because someone is, and she's casually chatting with a elder god, and I kind of forget that Lady Envy is like the daughter of Draconis, who was, I don't know, some fucking, hang on. Oh, okay, she's a daughter of an elder god, so she's probably like, I grew up around these people. I wasn't sure how I felt for her, but now I'm like, what the fuck? Who knows the truth, Crawl, that in striding through the warrens we travel through your very flesh, that when we draw upon the power of the warrens we draw from your very blood. What? Oh, I missed something. People, you're walking through an elder god's flesh, body. How? That is like, how do you comprehend that in your mind? Like, how big is an elder god? Fuck me. This really fucking shook me. The crippled god, this stranger from another realm, Lady Envy, I am frightened. An elder god is fucking frightened? What? Like, the amount of power an elder god would have to scare him? What? No. Oh, apparently the people there were slaughtered not by a Kuchain Shamal, but by a fleet of unhuman killers on ships. See, I mostly follow along on Malazan. I just miss a couple of little things. Like that just, oh, he did that. I was like, miss that. Like this, like, oh yeah, they were slaughtered. And like I read it, but then I think everything else that happened after it, I'm more interested. So my brain kind of goes, meh, shunts that out. Then, in the Panon Dominion, Domin, well, I don't know why I say Dominion, I don't know. In the pan on Domin, Crawl's blood is poisoned, so they can't use, well, she could use the Warren, but Tok won't be able to, like, suffer from the poisoning. He'll die, probably, whereas she will recover. So he's like, yeah, don't do that. And look after Tok, because people like him is what the Cripple God want to use. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the, like, I was interested in Dead House Gates, right? This, surpassing it. I should be doing some stuff, but all I want to do is read, but it's taken me so long to read because I'm taking notes as I go to remind myself of things that are happening, and so I can talk a bit better. And this is just, it's mental. This is just, and this is 1,000 pages. I'm on book 3. Capustan, whatever. Capustan. I'm on Capustan. Ignore the little reading light. Erikson, he doesn't shy away from horrors happening in war. Stony, assaulted is the most YouTube-friendly way I can put it. And then Gruntle being furious, but also taking care of her. Like, that's sweet. But also, this is what happens in war. And she's like, they're not playing by war's rules. I know it's war, but yeah. Why? This is not book for faint of heart. This is dark shit. But I love the idea of Gruntle being like rallying everybody and then being in charge and being like having tough, like his cutlass is like tusks, and he's like, shit, is that like Treach? And you know, stuff gonna happen there, and like Treach is around, like the god kind of thing, but also how like the Grey Swords are like also in awe of him as well, and being like, how are you, where does go? He's managed to rally a lot of people and like holding up, like, I kid you not, a mangled corpse of a child to get everybody out to come out and fight. Like, is this what you want to happen to your children? And getting them angry, like, and then taking the child's t-shirt or whatever and making that into a flag of being like, no, we the people, and charging and fighting and just killing and being angry because what happened to Stony. It's cool. I did not know though that Buke was now a soul taken and can change into a bird. I didn't know that. Nor did I know that is it Bushlane, Brocklane, whatever. And Corporal Brooch, like, I knew they were soul taken, but I didn't quite know it was bird. They're weird. And like sewing hearts together and then controlling the dead, leaving like no wound. Something's up with them. And then wanting to get to, was it Ainster or something? Who's like a captain or like high ranking, I can't remember exactly what, but I know he's high ranking. In the Teoshan, the people who consume human flesh. Yeah. They failed because I'm with them. Those group of people need to get in the bin because, oh my god, like, they are starving. Unless you're like high ranking, you are just starved. And then you are flung out of war or a battle, and then you're eating the people that you are killing. Sometimes I wonder what goes through Erikson's head. I wonder. But I will riot if anything happens to Whiskey, Jack and Cola. I love this. I always say I'm not a romance reader, and yet something happens in series like this, but then I'm like, I will riot if anything happens. This is kind of the same kind of thing. I just wrote this whole section down I'm writing them all down in Storygraph, and I just absolutely, I just love them. So, Whiskey Jack, you've truly no idea how rare a man you are, do you? Rare? His smile broadened. Of course I know. There's only one of me, thank Hood. That's not what I mean. He moved closer and drew an arm around her waist. Time to find a healer, woman. I've got simple needs and we're wasting time. A soldier's reply. I'm not fooled, you know. Unseen by her, he closed his eyes. Oh, but you are, Corlat. If you'd known the full extent of my fear, that I might lose you. Yes, give me, oh, I love them, and how he's sort of like sensing how she's come in after revealing something to the Mahibi and realising maybe you shouldn't have done that, and being furious, thinking that Whiskey Jack like was keeping things from her, and he was like, well, everybody has secrets, but also not that secret. And then just talking and like her anchors go, oh, okay, you're not the one I have to be angry at. And then him just like holding out the cloth and being like, she needs comforting, but she's not going to take it just yet. So I'm going to do it and hold it and then not take it. And then eventually she go, just fucking clean my wounds. And then they go find a healer, which is just like, oh, it's just so sweet. But fucking crappy. What? We all knew he wasn't as he seemed, right? It's Crappy. We all love him, how Crappy talks in third person. There is something up with him. And now Whiskey Jack and Dujek talking after the thing that happened with Catalan Brood was like, he might not, he's mortal, but he might have like the eye of an elder god on him because he is the most intelligent person on this world, which I do kind of see. Because they suspect that he called Caladan's brood anger forth just to show Calor, beware Caladan brood. You know, the hammer that can destroy the world. Yeah, that he hammered down in front of Crappe, and mountains rose. People were flung off horses. People were dodging boulders. Like, the landscape changed, and Crappe just stood there on a little island around himself like, what's up, dude? What's up? Bit angry? Got a cool hammer? Cool. It's just, like, we all knew that was going to happen, but I just, like, the scenery of that was just, like, vivid. And I was like, and I don't really see things when I read. Like, I really struggle, like, with the descriptions and stuff because I just, like, I don't know, I just don't see it. Okay, it's a place. Cool. I don't visualize it in my brain. I'm more of an emotional reader than a visual reader. But even then, I was kind of like, the way it slowed right down, I don't know, somehow it works for me. If you slow a description down like Erickson did and break it apart bit by bit by bit, my brain goes, oh, I can kind of have a rough idea what this is. It's not really that pictured. It's not that detailed. It's just like, oh, I can see tumbling rocks, and that's, but I don't see anything else around it, and then it will go to something else, or a mountain rose, so I just see a mountain rising. It's just, I don't know, it's weird. Yeah, fucking hell, Erickson. Note to self, do not anger Caladan Brood, who has the hammer to destroy the world. I do like Caladan Brood. Nobody beats Whiskey Jack though. Whiskey Jack as a soldier, it's just, I don't know, he gives me that kind of, yeah, he's a soldier, yeah, he's killed people, he's been at war, he's all of this, he will brutalize things, he will go dark. But I get the feeling he will also treat women with grace and respect. Like, I get the feeling he's the type of person who will be like, I won't underestimate you because you're a woman. I won't treat you down because you're a woman. I will maybe open the door for you. I will be a gentleman. I get that vibe from him, especially with like the Titande call out, like how he's looking and thinking like, oh, there was another moment where he was looking at Silver Fox and then he looked to call out and it's like, oh, but she pales beside the Titande. Damn it, old man. I think not on the night's path. Do not embrace this wonder so tightly you crush the life from it. I like Whiskey Jack. I don't know what that says because it shouldn't, but he also seems like a gentleman. So I don't know. He gets the approval from me. I just give me more Whiskey Jack. I just like the Bridge Burners. I don't know, something about them. I have got about 200 pages left. I don't know. No, where's my bookmark? It is in here. That's how far I am for the book. I've just hit book 4, Memories of Ice. They do it in books, not parts. I've just hit that, and I've just read First In, Last Out, Motto of the Bridge Burners. Why is that terrifying me? Why is that legit terrifying me? I have absolutely no idea. I have a couple of corrections to make, maybe one. I think I might have said earlier Silver Cloak instead of Silver Fox. I think I literally got confused because I saw a book that said Silver Cloak and my brain got muddled. So that's a me thing. Erickson does not hold back from the horrors of war. Okay, Erickson, like Dead House Gates, was like a little bit, you know, devastating, but nothing that really made me cry, right? Nothing that kind of people go, oh, it will tear you up. And I'm like, I haven't quite got to that point. It's been horrifying, but like not that point. Then I witnessed, hang on, how do I say this name? Brooke Hallion, ride to his death in Capistan. And that visual of him knowing he was going to go to his death, knowing that Covian was going to enact the revenge, knowing there was no choice, knowing that he was going to lose, knowing that all of his men were going to die, and still being like, I'm going to do it because honor and death and all of that shit, right? And seeing that, I was like, what? And him being the last one standing, like his intestines were falling out. He'd lost his arm. He was like, he should know. It's kind of like Boromir in Lord of the Rings giving that kind of death scene, but far more horrifying and gruesome and just making me want to be sick in my mouth. And then Hood came and stood over him after that. And I'm like, Hood, why? Why did Hood himself come to that point to take his soul personally? That says a lot. But I did really, really like Covian. These names get wrapped around my tongue. I really like him. I like his character. I like Crow's going. I like how he knew what was happening, and I did feel a little bit when he sort of said to somebody, find something, or, you know, the Destrian is dead now, because he gave all of his life to make sure that Ictovian was, like, alive and could survive, because he had sustained a lot of injuries, and it just killed him, and, like, most of the Grey Sword gone, just annihilated. And he still went, and obviously the British band has come and it was all cool, but just his, like, honour and how he just happens to sort of stand, I don't know, through all the horrors of everything that's going through Malazan. And you have somebody like Ictovian who sees through people and sees to the heart of them. And, you know, the fact that Anastar, the dead child seed person, he was terrified of Ictovian, which is just like, oh, and like having him around all the horrors is just, it's just, I don't know, it just makes like acts like that just stand out so much more. I was not surprised that Wrath Fene was the one who betrayed them, because I was like, of course he is, of course he's going to. All those people are slimy little shits, so I'm not at all surprised that happened. But what got me was Param didn't want Ictovian to sort of kill him in the way that he was going to kill him, but except all he did was just take his hands, and then a different god, because obviously Fene has been booted out of his own realm, own warren or whatever, and is weakened. So another god came and took his hands, and we're like, what god is that? Me, from the description, I'm thinking, is it the crippled god? Because there was like some lines that crawled up his hands and stuff. I was like, oh, okay, what's happening there? So I don't know, I could be completely wrong in this. I'm hoping at some point that's going to be revealed, but I kind of want to binge the whole series now. I've got to this point, I'm just like, I just want to read Malazan. That's all I want to do. I just want to read Malazan. These are big fucking, look at it's bigger than my fucking head. Like, look, huge. And I just want to read all of them. So that's where I am now. I just want to read Malazan. On another revelation I read today was Tool is Silver Fox's father. Since when? Mainly because like she was born within his warren or something to do with that and his power, so he's technically her father. But then also Silver Fox is also the fourth person inside Silver Fox. So you have Nightchill, Tattersail, the other person, and then Silver Fox. So, oh, Silver Fox, kind of a bitch. Don't like her now. I did before. Now I'm like, no. Witnessing that gathering, no, don't like her now. For some reason, she's grating on my nerves. She's coming across with all arrogance and all this. And I'm like, bitch, I know you are a grown woman, but at the same time, you have not even been alive for a fucking year. Shut up and listen to your elders. You know jack shit. And I don't know, she's just kind of pissing me off. But I do really feel, I still feel for Mahabi, but I also understand the fact that Cole and what's the other soldier, Malazan soldier, are planning to steal her mother away when they reach Capistan, because they're just like, no, we need to get her away. Bearing in mind, that was interesting. She, in her dreamlike escape, managed to get into where Tok the Younger was, and was talking to him, and Tok the Younger was kind of like thinking she was the seer, but she wasn't, and then kind of realizing maybe she's not, and how kind of harrowing that was, and then, you know, her being terrified, realizing kind of, shit, this is not the escape I wanted. And I'm like, what is up with those fucking Tok things, that bloody brass arm rings, whatever, that Crappie got her. But also Crappie, the fuck, Crappie. Interesting. I like him. Who doesn't like him? He is more than he seems. But then you also have the point where, like, okay, this is where I love Whiskey. I just love Whiskey Jack. I love him. I feel for him, though, because he stood before Anamanda Rake, right? Bear in mind, Anamanda Rake can be a literal fucking dragon, and he flew over the Tenwoski people. I'm butchering all these names. Don't care. You can correct me in the comments. It ain't gonna change. And unleashed his warren of darkness through his dragon's mouth. Killed a load of them, apart from these select women who are the powerful women of these Tenwoski tribe people, and they are the ones who basically grape and everything the men as they're dying, to have their dying seed, to have right? everyone collectively of us, as we are reading this book, are like, they deserve to die, right? We are like, yeah, they can die. They can die. Whiskey Jack is like, I don't like the sentence because Jath's, but whatever, Animander Rake's sword, his sword, you kind of get trapped inside that. I'm like, these people are just so horrible. And I'm like, no, leave him trapped. But Animander Rake was just like, I don't want to cross over with you because he's kind of buddies with Whiskey Jack, which I love that bromanship. Give me that bromance, right? More bromance, please. So Whiskey Jack does it with his own sword and his own then watch. And he feels shame and the weight of that burden of, I've just killed unarmed women. They're not really. But it's one of those decisions as a commander, you know you can't let them live because of what they are. You can't guard them. And they need to die, but you don't like the way that Rake was doing it. But Rake was offering to take that burden, but you didn't realise that until after. And now you have that burden. I did love the conversation with him and Caller after. With Caller, it was just like, don't be so fucking dumb. Your soldiers know, and your soldiers follow you. For these, they see more than what Whiskey Jack thinks. So like, they understand exactly what they will follow you into the abyss. So Whiskey Jack, but then Whiskey Jack coming to the conclusion that Empress Lassine wanted him to die at Pale because she's scared of Whiskey Jack. She can control and understand Dujek One Arm. She can't Whiskey Jack. And I'm like, that revelation. Then we have the meeting with everybody, and Silver Fox turns up. He's a fucking bitch who nobody gives a shit about. And then Cruelly's cruel. Yeah, I knew that. Kind of suspected, to be fair. Kind of suspected that he is kind of cruel. I kind of got it from the beginning in the meeting. But Caladan Brood giving his warhammer to Rathburn because she demands it, saying, no, you need to use the hammer without, instead of realising that actually Caladan Brood might find a third way, because either leave Burn being poisoned by the cripple god and then complete annihilation of all living things, or he uses the hammer and only some people, a lot of people, still get annihilated. Or, as Caladan Brood said, faith is that he can find another way. So he gives her the hammer. She's like, here, take it. And then immediately I went, I know what's going to happen. And it was so satisfying. She took it, both her wrists broke because it was just so heavy, just snapped. And obviously she didn't know, but I would be like, that's a bit sus. He's carrying this hammer. And it's either only he can wield it, or only people like with massive power, like Caladan Brood, can wield it. So not everybody can. That's kind of my kind of going on it, because the hammer's fucking terrifying, but also cool. Imagine that in a D&D game. You just like wield this hammer, bosh, cities are leveled. Be kind of cool. This was something that's really interesting me, and had to actually Google because I'm really bad at description, so I couldn't remember if it was Quickpen or Cruppy who was dark skinned, but it was Quickpen. And Cruel sensing Quickpen arriving at the meeting. Basically, everybody's focusing on this woman as Caladan Brood trying to heal her and talking to her and all of this about the breaking. Cruel stands up, swivels around, looks the other direction, and sees Quickpen. And Quickpen notices Cruel and goes, what was that exchange? I think it's also Stu, because again, they said the Warren was not poisoned as Caladan went into it. And that's to do with the little snake thing, stick thing, sticky, that's hiding on Quickpen's shoulder. Obviously to do with Hood as a little bit, as well as the Baragast slightly, but Hood as well. Because honestly, Quickpen has some fucking balls to talk to Hood as he did. Just like launched him in through this stick snare, I think it is, and was demanding Hood and just talking, and Hood's like, you dare, and Quickpen's like, not so loud, but yes, I dare. I love Quickpen, I do. Even him just completely annihilating, obviously they're not dead, Corporal Broach and Bocklin, however you say his name, those two scary people, and just kind of using, and what gets me is, I'm going to say Bocklin, is he said to Quickpen, like, oh, you shouldn't have revealed all your power. I've never seen, people with like 6-7 warrants, immense power. And Quickpen was like, but I didn't reveal all my power. Bosh! Like 12 warrants used, obliterated him through the wall. He then leaves pretty quickly. And he's like, now I'm spent. I was like, Quickpen, you've got some fucking balls, man. Some fucking balls. And then the last bit of book 3 in this one was Lady Envy came across a town of the mass that is impaled by like 3 swords. Lanas Tog of Kurulum Talon Mass, the lone survivor of a war on a sail. And what gets me is Lady Envy assumes they were fighting a Jagnot, but they weren't. The Lanas Tog goes, no, it wasn't a Jackal, it was human. I'm like, what human can obliterate a literal 22,000 of the Kurul and then another 20 odd thousand of a different town of the mass, different tribal town of the mass? What human can so there's one survivor. That's like over 40,000 troops. Gone. Kind of worried. Who is this person? I've done a thing. I was looking on eBay for the secondhand books of the series because I own most of them on Kindle, at least the main series. But I'm just enjoying physically reading them more than having the ebook out. So I managed to find 13 books within the Malazan, like the 10 books the Malazan book of the full series, plus 3 more outside of that for £100. Sounds like a lot, but it's like £7 a book. So I bought it. Yes, I know, I already own ebooks. Don't care, I bought it. No regrets. I have my coffee. I have my book. Let's finish this. What the fuck do you mean Anna Rake is gone? What the fuck do you fucking mean? No. I refuse. So much happened. And the chapter isn't even over yet. I haven't even read a chapter this morning. So, Parent goes to the little world, finds the Throne of Shadow that the Tisande, which they found, like, before he went in the world, they, like, did him and Quick Ben discovered him just dead, and it was sorcery, but not surrounded by sorcery. It's like a pressure on the outside. Suspicious. I just talked to the throne, and the Tisti Edu want it, and he's like, no, and then he reaches out to Anna Rake, finds the sword instead, talks to Draconis, and Draconis is like, if Anna Rake may not have the sword anymore, and Paran's like, what the fuck do you mean if he doesn't have the sword? It's fucking Anna Rake, right? Nobody can defeat Anna Rake. He's a literal fucking dragon. Like, yeah. Like, I'm with you, Paran, I'm with you. And then he reaches out to Anna Rake, and he had no comprehension of what rushed up to meet him, blinding, hammering into his skull, a flash in oblivion. Anna Rake, and then he just wakes up and says to Quick Ben, Anna Rake is gone. They've lost to Tisteande. What? I was a little bit suspicious because Corlat was like, well, I haven't heard from anybody, but I could reach out if I wanted to, but I'm just love sick over Whiskey Jack, which, to be honest, same. I'm a bit like, something has gone on here. And is she now the last one? Anna Rake cannot be dead. I refuse to believe that. I haven't seen a body, therefore not dead. I know that doesn't necessarily work with Malazan or with most books because I've been burned before. I've always been a bit like, don't see the body, ain't dead. Because you know, the really badly done resurrection trope. But this, no. I refuse to believe it. I refuse. I don't care if I see it, but I'm not going to believe it. I don't want to read anymore. I don't want to do it. Fucking Callow. Whiskey Jack. He can't be dead. He can't. I don't want him to be. Fucking hell, Erickson. I almost wish I never met him so I wouldn't feel this pain. Fucking colour. I have never wanted a character to suffer so much than Calor. And Corlat. Just all to save Silver Fox, who I hate. I don't like her. Because she came to Whiskey Jack. What's happened to the bridge burners now? Without it, like, they're not the bridge burners without Whiskey Jack. They're just not. Every time everyone was going on this series, thinking like, oh, it's going to cause you so much pain. Hardly felt anything, right? Not even in Dead House Gates. Until this moment. Things have happened, they've been horrifying. Haven't made me cry. Until Whiskey Jack. I don't think I can... I don't know what I'm going to do without Whiskey Jack. It's fucking Whiskey Jack, man. He was my favourite. Isn't that a saying? Never fall in love with a favourite character because he was just going to kill him. Fucking Erickson did. Fuck's sake, not Whiskey Jack. I want to go back to when this didn't happen. I want to go back and then I just don't finish the book. Are you fucking telling me Rake hid Moonspawn so well and then rose it up beneath a harbour? This scene, the mountain rising up beneath a harbour. Told you he weren't dead. Are you telling me the seer and the matron are the brother and sisters from the fucking prologue? we've all come in a fucking circle. Okay, so the seer is obviously the brother. I don't think the matron is the sister, but the sister was in the still in mourn. And the seer deserves to fucking die. Everything he does, everything he did, manipulating other people, creating the 10 carry? Don't know. Anyway, the cannibals. Creating them and then being like going back to his sister. No. I get what Quick Ben was going for, and I understand that possibly in against a crippled god it might work out, but no, I don't like it. He was horrible with everything he did, but I suppose it was nice seeing him reunite with his sister. Fuck's sake. Maybe I will see him pay for what he did later on. Though if Calor doesn't die the most painful death, I will riot. Tok is in Alistair's whatever body. It's Tok. He's a mortal sword. It's Tok. Oh my god. Something good has come out of this painful ending. I can't decide if I finish the book or the book finished me. So, yes, I'm done with Memories of Ice. I never expected to care so much about certain characters and to cry so much, specifically on how this is told. So with Realm of the Elderlings, you're building and building within each character, or Fitz in particular, to the end, and then it breaks you. But you've had all these years and spanning of building that and being with particularly Fitz from a young child to the end. But with this, and what happened to Whiskey Jack, even Ictovian, the way that they all respected him at the end, when he just died, he took on what the Talonamass had done, and he just died. He gave them something, and then everybody respected him. Not just the Greyswords, not just Gruntle and everyone else. It was all the Malazans, Dujek, Talonamass. They just came and respected him. And Rake doing what he did for Whiskey Jack, glancing down at Whiskey Jack, and you can see this is an immortal person. Like, he's lived thousands of years, and yet he had a friend in Whiskey Jack. Just turned to Caller and being like, "You go with my blessing, hunt Calor down, but leave him alive." He has earned the sword, and yeah, fuck yeah. Everything about this book, I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna be crying over this for ages. It's just one of those things, and I'm just perfection. No, I'm crying, I'm screaming. Although there was one moment that I'm just like, let me live in hope. Let me live in hope. Alright, it's probably too late, but I bless you, one and all. In the silent chamber, the light faded, the globe flickering, then finally vanishing. But a new glow had come to the chamber, faint, seeming to dance with the black web on the sarcophagi. A dance of mystery. If this means we haven't said last Whiskey Jack, oh my, please. I don't care what because gods I have to literally give my soul to, but I will to have more Whiskey Jack. Just give me more Whiskey Jack. As if it wasn't enough to tear my heart out over Whiskey Jack, already dying. My heart got ripped out even more with Quick Ben just talking about all the soldiers, the bridge burners. Pretty much there's only a handful of the bridge burners left as a company. They're gone now, just gone. But I loved what Dujek offered them. I loved the fact that he was like, there's so much money back there. Whiskey Jack wanted this too. He wanted to give me. He wanted to just have a time with Caller and just retire, and I should have known from that point on. I should have known that he wasn't going to survive this. He just wasn't. He wasn't going to retire. I thought it was like, oh, one of the things, and then maybe Dujek would die, and then Whiskey Jack would be like, well, I can't give up now, and he won't, and then now he's just. But Dujek giving the bridge burners that offer. And then Picker and her partner. In my head, Picker's partners blend. Love that. Just the bridge burners raising the bar in Cruel's temple, which everybody's like, it could be haunted. I just love that. And Paran just kind of be like, I am residing in the house with Rias now, in the house. And yeah, cool for you, Paran. Cool for you. Great. And then he went there, and then Dukia was there. So obviously, yes, I knew Dukia was going to survive, but he hadn't said anything until that moment, and then he talks around the bridge burners because Picker wanted Paran to talk about Coral, but it was a little bit too soon, so Duke is like, I will talk about Cultain. talk about that. And it kind of ended. I don't think you could have ended the book any better on that moment of being like, yeah, this is what's happened. They've all suffered. None of them are going to be the same. The whole company's gone. Friends. And yeah, the way Erikson writes soldiers and soldiers humor, it's their way. I don't know. It's bringing back not memories, but making me feel like that it's the way of how they cope with this kind of horrifying thing that's happened. They've lost most of the people they know, but instead of falling into despair, they make dark humor about it to cope. And I kind of get on with that. I am no way prepared to face people right now. I'm just gonna start crying. But yes, I don't know what to say. This was just absolutely fucking devastating. And I don't know why I thought people were lying. Because people said that about Dead House Gates, and I was like, yeah, it's horrifying a little bit, but not devastating. This is devastating. I just want Whiskey Jack to come back. But Tok is Annister. And then I near broke at this. I near broke. A white-faced Baragast approached Annister, and it was fucking Tool. It just said goodbye to Annister, and it was Tool, and Tool knew. He absolutely knew that was Tok, and it's just. I near broke at that. I did break at that. I don't know what to say. I've hoped you enjoy me crying on camera. My life is empty right now. What do I do after reading this chunker of a book? And I don't know how I'm going to move on. What I'm going to do. My coping mechanism may be to pick up the next book straight away and then suffer even more as I continue through this series. Or I'll just pick up a cozy book like A Pirate's Life Fatigue to fill this hole and heal, because fuck me, man. I never thought it could be so brutal. I never thought I'd cry so much. But give me your thoughts on Malazan down below. Please don't give me any spoilers for anything on the other series. I'll happily talk to you about Malazan from the books that I have read. And I hope you enjoyed. And I will see you possibly in the next Malazan vlog. If not, in the next video.